and post the link for Hunter and Jamie if they want to watch it, or Chris or whoever, because they might watch it live. All right. So, quick summary of the last game. You, in order to win the affections or reputation of the lizard folk, have traveled to kill a giant crocodile named Thousand Teeth. And after that successful mission, the lizard folk have agreed to set up a small enclave. Cat, what are you doing? Now you're doing what Jim's dogs are doing. Set up a small little enclave next to Salt Marsh to confer with the Salt Marsh Council in regards to the inevitable attack by or on the Sahuagin forces, which is located somewhere in this region near the lizard folk. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, I hear your cat.
A little.
Hey, what are you doing? Do I have to drive you off?
Apparently.
Yeah, right. She never makes noise, and this is the one time. As soon as I hit record. So Thurkir has been tasked, assigned, requested to be a personal liaison to the group that brokered this deal. But outside Saltmarsh, we have Garut and Varth, I think, were the names. Doesn't really terribly matter. So for the first week after you return, the town is kind of in a tizzy, right? Because now there's an impending threat. So you've got the blacksmith kind of firing up his weapon making side of his forge a little bit, and you've got a slight troop bolstering from the nearby fort city further down, and a few other things for this first week, as the town is completely convinced that the attack's coming tomorrow. Every day it's tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow. After about a week with nothing happening, people kind of go back to normal, as people are wont to do. And so for that first week, you would be doing probably what you have been doing in downtime type stuff, with the exception of Kahilis is not spending every minute brewing potions because you still have plenty. I'm assuming Silvermane didn't go carousing because I would have to roll dice and take money away from you. More like you're just doing general hanging around town.
Yeah.
And see, Zor's fixing ships. Farrell's chatting with the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And where did
Anyone
he go?
give me the tour?
Yeah, you get a tour of the town. You see the map right here. There's a handout that tells you what each numbered location is. And everywhere you go in the town of Saltmarsh, you get some interesting looks for the first week. Also, for that first week, Ganolf takes the dropped kilt back and forth to the lizard folk lair and ferries some of their supplies to set up their enclave up here. And young Anders Salmore wants to check out their base because he's young and naive and interested in everything. And he gets a nice tour of that. But after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, the town is basically back to normal, with the exception of the occasional lizard folk walking about. Everything seems to have settled into a rhythm. And after that first few days of shipping supplies back and forth to the lizard folk lair, Ganolf says he's going to take the ship up to Seaton, which is the next town to the east, and see if he can't find some more sailors, because it's taken some effort to run the ship with 4 guys, and it's supposed to be manned by 10 at the minimum. So he says he'll be back, and he's gone for a few days, and then he comes back, and then he starts organizing a shipping route to keep the ship stocked, because it's starting to get expensive to run the ship, to pay the crew. They're starting to get actually trained. So they're starting to demand more than just a couple silver a day. Because obviously they could just jump ship and go somewhere else. That's what Farrell did from his original crew. So,
Yep.
So he's making enough in shipping contracts to keep the ship updated, repair wise, stocked with food, pay the soldiers. And Ganolf seems to be enjoying his the management side of it. But occasionally some of the sailors will be like, he's a good bookkeeper. He's not terribly a great captain. And he's gone for a decent amount of time, like maybe 75% of the time he's not in port. 3 weeks in, Zor, again, the town 3 weeks later, still no attack on the Sahuagins, still no word from the lizard folk that it's coming. Some of the townsfolk are starting to wonder if this is all just a weird ploy for the lizard folk to work their way into society. And some rumblings are like, if they wanted to come hang out, they could have just asked. We don't need some kind of crazy story about an impending attack or whatever. But meanwhile, the Sahuagin fortress itself is like cranking up full power. They're moving on something, or they're planning for something. But yeah, it's toward the beginning of week 3 when Zor, you get a formal sealed letter with a wax seal with a X stamped into the seal, folded up and slid under your domicile front door. You crack it open, and it is a not form letter, but it's a very formally written note telling you that there's an item that you requested at what's the name of the place? The Glorious Quartermaster of Ayaz, or however it's pronounced. Faithful Quartermasters of Ayaz. Yes.
That's number 7?
Number 7, yes.
Down here.
Cool.
Yep. So you, I can do that. I can do that better. You travel your way down there. It's, early to mid-morning. You're heading that way anyway to go to work. And you swing by. And as you walk in the door, you see... where did she go? Where did she go? I guess I could just drag her on here to do this. What is that noise? You see the tiefling woman, and as you walk in, she looks up. She gives you the same look that you got the last time you were here. And she says, I have recently procured something that you expressed a modicum of interest in.
Oh, yes.
You had requested a magical dagger, and it just so happens that a few days ago, I came across just such an item. And she ducks down behind the counter and comes up with a, it's a standard dagger. The hilt kind of looks like it's carved out of some creature's tooth. The blade itself is steel, kind of slightly serrated edge. Looks very dangerous. And she waves her hands. You assume it casts a spell or something, and it starts to glow a little bit. She says, "Behold, it is enchanted with the ability to increase your potential damage."
Ooh. So are you interested?
That would be 300 gold pieces, please.
Oh. So best Zorg could do is 200.
Well, then I'm afraid we don't have a deal.
That's a little rough around the edges here, and
I am giving you she looks off into the air for a moment. Hero of Salt Marsh discount. What's your insight? Make an insight check.
Alright. It's not my insight I'm concerned with. It's my 288 gold that I will have.
Well, check the. Keep an eye, or keep an eye. Just remember you have access to party treasure.
Do I have to get like permission to take 12 out of that?
You can ask the party. Because it's not up to me what you can take.
Okay, does anyone care if I take some gold out of party treasure to buy my dagger?
Nope.
Alright, so I rolled a 10 on my insight.
All right, you can see right through her fake attempt at making up a discount.
Yeah, maybe I shop around.
Very well. I have plenty of other buyers. I can't guarantee it will still be here tomorrow.
Like Zorg said, I can put 200 gold on the table right here, right now, and
Make a persuasion roll.
Zorg is shrewd.
Trying. Now that I put her stats away again. Come here, lady.
I got a 7. So.
Gross, you got a 7? Let's see if her insight is higher than a 7. Yes, it is. By default, it is higher than a 7. She says, I see that we're not reaching an understanding here. So let me be very plain with you, little man. She kind of bends down to get at your eye level. 300 is my asking price. 300 is how much I will accept to give you this dagger. No more and no less.
Zorg could do 250.
Then it was a pleasure doing business
And
with
then
you.
Zorg's walking away.
All right, she takes the dagger off the counter and puts it back down behind. She seems unaffected by your attempt at negotiation.
Let's see if let's hope I don't need that dagger the next time I'm saving the city.
She gives you like a side look over her shoulder. The door is that way.
Yeah.
All right. The rest of this week is just like the last 2 weeks. Nothing really notable happens. And on week 4, about 4 weeks after you've been back, the ship is at sea. And let's see, where does Jim hang out? Jim hangs out in the Snapped Line, I think.
One of many places, but yes.
Because he's been hanging out with Hannah every now and then.
He's the criminal sword.
Yeah. I don't think this is dynamic lighting, so I don't need to have anybody else here because Farrell's here. Farrell's always here. Kahilis might be here because you're here. Ganolf is not here. Zor is not here. I don't know if you guys are sitting at the table together or not. But it is a particularly windy evening. Let's see. How about cool weather? Oh, dark and stormy. There we go. We'll play dark and stormy. All right. As you're sitting in the nice warm tavern, having a drink and a meal of some sort, Hannah's wiping down the counter. A bunch of sailors are in here doing their thing. And the front door opens. A gust of wind announces the arrival of young Anders Solmore. Where is the front door to this place?
Wherever
Down here,
Anders
I
wants
guess?
it. I think it's right here, isn't it?
Actually, I think that is a door. Yeah, I think actually this one over here looks like the front door.
Hey, where am I?
You are not here presently.
Yeah, loser. That was mean. I'm sorry.
And he comes in. Make an insight check. The three of you. Okay. Zor's not. Oh yeah, that was a different roll. So Farrell and Silvermane noticed that Anders looks a little distraught. Like he's got a lot on his mind. He comes over to the fire, rubs his hands together, holds them out for a moment, and he kind of just plops himself down in the bar. Hannah walks over, and you can overhear her speaking to him, and she's like, "Oh, Anders, you're out late. Here, have a drink on us to warm you up." He's like, "Oh, thanks, Hannah. It's been a rough day." And he sees the rest of you, and he just kind of nods and waves a little bit and starts drinking his ale.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh God, it's Mr. Fancy Pants. Nobody likes.
Just let him have his drink.
Yep. Nobody likes my joke.
All right. After he drinks, he motions for her to give him another one, and he takes that too, and he drinks that one down rather quickly. And then he slides a coin of some kind. You can't really tell from here what it is. Slides it to her. She says, "Oh, that's okay, Councilman Solmore. It's fine." He's like, "No. You go ahead and take it." And then he gets up, starts walking toward the door.
Does he look back to see if we're watching him?
No, he doesn't seem to be paying you guys any attention. He seems to have a lot on his mind at the moment. And he goes out the front door.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna go over to Hannah and get the gossip.
Okay.
So,
She said,
what was wrong with Mr. Fancy Pants?
"I don't know. He wanted a couple drinks, said he had a lot on his mind."
And you didn't ask him?
It's not my place to butt in on councilman business.
Sorry, it's gonna just be a long night. I'm not going out in this.
Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't. Stay in here where it's warm. She gives you a wink.
Yeah. All right, another round for me and the boys. They're being quiet
All right.
too.
We are being quiet tonight. All right. And
Well,
the night
it's because
passes.
you're muted. That's why, Jeremy. I can't hear you.
Oh, number 2 is muted.
There
Were
we
you-
go.
There
You
we
I
talking-
didn't
go.
say anything anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so you go back to your meal and your drink or whatever. And we skip that adventure, go to the next one.
All right.
Good job! Success! You'll go into the 5th chapter, 1 level too low. Here we go! No. So, yeah,
Is there? I'm gonna go over to Hannah and ask her. Well, I guess now I would have no way of knowing because you said something about a strange coin, but that's not something I would have seen.
no, well, you just would have seen him
From
slide
where
something by his finger across the table to her, and she
Yeah.
tried
So
to turn
never
him
mind.
down for it. Yeah. And so the rest of the night, you're just hanging out, doing your thing. Let's see. All right. So, did you ever go back to buy the dagger at all, Doug? Or you're just gonna pass it?
If there's another opportunity, I might go back, see if it's still there, and see if the price has gone down.
I mean, it's always available until she sells it. But yeah.
Yeah.
If you go a couple days later, it will still be there, but she does not budge on the price. That's cheap for a magic weapon.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
All
I'm
right.
gonna wipe out my gold and subtract 12 from the party treasure.
Add +1 dagger to your character sheet.
Yes.
Fancy.
How do I add a +1 dagger? Just compendium?
Yeah, if you go to the compendium and just type in dagger +1, and make sure you drag it from the equipment and not from the information. Because one will just add the proficiency to your sheet, and one will actually add the item. All
Like-
right.
What do you mean drag it from the equipment?
Let's see. when you do no search results. Maybe if you just type dagger. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you just type dagger, you
There
see
you
how it says items? Yeah, if you just drag that onto your character
Yep.
sheet. If you've popped your character
okay.
sheet out, it won't go. You have to make sure it's...
Yep, I gotta unpop it.
Okay. So it's a rainy afternoon, and say Zor is coming out of the weapon shop. Say it's the same day. And you've got your shiny new dagger, and water seems to bounce off of it like it does with everything else, but for you it's new and interesting. And you have your 1,000-tooth scale kilt that the lizard folk made you.
Nice.
If you want to fashion a way for the dagger to drop your kilt, that's totally on you.
Yeah.
You just whip together something. It's not too difficult. Although you might accidentally stab yourself now and then if you have to run or anything.
I'll take 1 damage. For the process.
Right. And who was your contact in the city? It was Edda, right?
I think that was everybody.
None of you actually...
contact.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had Anders as their friendly contact, I don't think.
I didn't.
Okay.
Edda was my girl.
So I think I'm going to roll a d4. Alright. So for 2 days, you don't see Anders around. I mean, you occasionally swing by the council hall, and you'll see Edda, and you'll see Prime Water, and he throws another big party at one point, invites all the lizard folk, so he can show off to the regular rich people in town that he knows the lizard folk, and he can get all these weird races into his house and stuff like that. He's a very, very creepy guy. And Edda shows up, but Anders doesn't. And he
How many races I can get into my house?
and he begins to become conspicuous in his absence. In fact, Edda will ask Silvermane, "Have you seen Anders at all?"
Not since the stormy night the other night.
Back to the Prime Water Mansion, and we'll kick on some scurvy wizard music.
I mean, not that the councilman and I exactly hang out or anything.
That's too loud. He was very preoccupied with a letter he received recently. I didn't know if maybe he spoke to any of you, because you seem to be his favorite toys. Not toys. Sorry, I apologize. That's not what I meant to say. She says. But he does take a certain stock in finding you folks. So I thought maybe
he made a couple of drink orders and then he left. Hannah said he seemed a little distracted, but that's about all.
Yeah.
Why, you think there's
Interesting
something
to
wrong?
know. Whatever it was, it seems to have been tied to that letter. I haven't seen him or his butler around the last few days.
Are you asking me to find that letter?
Gosh, no, that would sound like it breaking and entering or something vile. No, I just wasn't sure if maybe you'd seen him. I'm sorry I asked.
Man, she didn't bite at all.
No, she's the law, kind of, sort of.
I'm not going to get any work out of her. No, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. If you're worried about him, I mean, have you sent anybody to his house?
We did, and no one answered. I think he might have taken a ship out of town.
It's kind of strange for the councilman to do that, but
It very much is.
he is the
Not
councilman.
Not in character for him. Um,
I can't remember if she owes me a favor or if I owe her a favor.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
I think it was that she owed me a favor.
We'll find out when you come asking for one. Depending on what it is, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, here's your favor." So, the next day, the day after the Prime Water party, you do spot Anders around by the docks. Anybody who hangs out by the docks, so Zor specifically would see him, and the rest of you, because I think that other tavern is like right near the water. He's just kind of on the pier, and he looks like he's been drinking a lot. Looks like he hasn't
And
showered. Yeah, and maybe hasn't slept in a few days.
I approach him.
He looks up to you and blinks a couple times.
She
He's
looks
like,
down to him.
yeah, like, while he's like sitting, kicking his feet off the dock. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Zor. Hi,
Wendy?
good. Did you call him Wendy?
Andy.
Oh, I thought he said, "Hey, Wendy." I was like,
Hello, Wendy. Andy, are you okay, Andy?
I don't know. You ever have an old family legend come back to haunt you?
Oh, Zor have no family.
He kind of reaches up, puts his hand on your shoulder, and uses you to stand up. Keeps his hand on your shoulder, and he's like, "That's probably for the best, my friend. Family can be nothing but trouble."
You want to come back to Zor place and take a bath? You look like you could use one.
I have my own house, Zor. That's very unique of you to ask me. But
It's good you say no. Zor does not have a bath. Zor bathes in the water off the docks.
Explains the smell.
Zor, I haven't seen your ship around lately. Are you not with the dropped kilt anymore?
Oh no. He Gunnulf is out of town trying to hire crew. That's maybe a bit of smuggling.
What?
Merchant trade.
All right, he kind of sobers up a little bit at your. I hope that was an attempted joke.
No, just a misunderstanding of vocabulary.
Smuggling. That's right.
Yes.
He says, bath's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll go home and take a bath.
Shave? Zor has a new dagger.
Sure, Zor. Show me your new dagger.
Right. So I take it out, and I show him how he can use.
Does your kilt drop off when you take it out to show him?
There's a level.
All right. He says,
I
yeah.
show him how he could use it to shave his face.
I have equipment for that back home, Zor, but I really appreciate all the help that you're putting into this. Tell you what, why don't you swing by tonight?
Everybody needs friends.
What? Exactly. Why don't you come by tonight for dinner? I'll get what's my butler's name to whip up something nice, and we'll just hang out. I could use some friends right now.
It would be my honor. I will bring my dress kilt.
Scarin, yes, my butler Scarin will make up something nice. And he kind of stumbles off a little bit, but he's shaking it off, and he looks all right. And that night or that afternoon, you get a formal invitation from his place that invites you for dinner.
And a bath.
No, he's already. No. It just says, "Come on over for dinner. Thanks for chatting this afternoon." Gives you a time.
Am I the only
Doesn't
one
say-
that has an image of Anders in a bathtub with Zorg like shaving him and stuff?
No, I do now. Thanks, Jim. I didn't originally. You head over to his place that evening. Doesn't say anything about inviting anybody else. And there is nobody else here. I mean, there's a few servants around the house. The house is clean. Like the wait staff has been there. It was just him and his butler that were missing. And as you sit down for dinner, he just kind of starts rambling. Like, you're the first person who has asked questions and offered to listen. And he just starts rambling on about how his parents always had all this high hopes for him. And, you know, they were once this super wealthy, successful family. And they're still pretty successful, but they had this big financial downfall at one point. And an entire ship with some pretty valuable cargo went missing, and then he mentions as the evening's winding down, he says, "You remember that ship I mentioned, the Soul of Winter? Oh, sorry, the Emperor of the Waves, which is the one that he said his father lost in a storm." He's like, it's been sighted, and I don't know if I should try to hire a crew, go get it, if I should try to get it myself, or if I should just write it off as lost and move forward with my family. But
Zor and his hardy crew will do it for you.
well, your ship's not important, Zora. I haven't seen it in 4 or 5 days now. I thought about hiring you, but because you seem like such a trustworthy bunch. But your ship is missing. I went to see if I could hire a crew somewhere else, but I don't trust anyone with the kind of money that we're talking about here, Zor. I could offer someone 10,000 gold pieces to recover this treasure. But I can't trust anyone.
That could buy a 2-dagger.
It might.
Anyway, Zor can help. If not in ship. What can I do?
Unless you can fly. I think
I can fly into a rage.
No, that I appreciate the sentiment, Zor, but it was last sighted almost a week offshore, pretty deep water for most sailing vessels, and even yours might have difficulty making the trip. And at this point, some have referred to it as a ghost ship. So, unless you want to go on your second ghost hunt for me, claps you on the shoulder. It's like, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take this as a loss.
Andy, let me tell you something. 2 months ago, Zor fixed boat. Now Zor, boat captain. Hear about the Marsh.
Who?
Robin Hello, with the kneecaps, with the fancy types. Zor, Zor will help. You
Well-
let me get my crew?
Zor, I trust you. If your ship comes into port, you come find me. Because I'm
Have you
about
talked
ready to just write this off.
Have you talked to the rest of the council?
I don't want to involve Edda in a family matter, in a personal
Oh,
history
she's a
issue.
lovely lady. She would help.
She is a lovely lady, but this is I don't know, Zor, I don't know how to put this, but there's a lot of greed in politics. I don't.
There's a
I-
lot of greed at that shop down on.
There are not a lot of people I trust with this kind of information.
Do you trust Zor?
Do trust you, Zor. You seem to be a kind soul.
No, I'm gonna go tell all my friends.
And the only other person in the room is his butler. Make an insight check, please. Oh shit. You do notice that his butler is just he's going about his business, cleaning up the table and stuff like that, but he's very intently keeping one ear always on the conversation. Like there's that hesitant pause every now and then where you can see that he didn't want to grab the dish of china because he didn't want to miss the end of the sentence. You know, that kind of a
I'm gonna do one of these gestures to get his attention.
yes, Mr. Zor.
Zor would like one last mead, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course.
Something that would require him to leave the room. If it's right there in the liquor cabinet, that's not
Okay.
going to do me any good.
And it's the guy that Jim calls Blackthorn.
Not chocolate.
Of course, Mr. Zor. I will be right here with that. And he kind of hesitantly leaves the room.
Okay, I lean into Andrew.
Okay.
Butler has dropped something.
What? He looks on the floor. The butler's dropped something?
Some eaves. If you know what Zor mean.
Oh, Zor. It's okay. It's okay. Scarin was the one who told me about my family's missing ship. He has been trying to encourage me that I should go and retrieve it instead of just assuming that this story was over.
Do I get? I mean, the insight check really only tells me that he's paying attention, not that that's not what his intentions might be or what he hopes to hear. So,
Depending on how well you roll, you can tell if he is like, you know, the underlying feeling behind it, kind of thing. I mean, what are you trying to read?
Well,
You mean specifically the butler?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
trying to like read his vibe. Is he like, you know, eavesdropping in the way that like, you know, somebody might eavesdrop on a conversation where someone's asking someone out and they're rooting for him, or like I'm listening to see if I'm getting my way out of this.
I would say you can't pick up the subtleties there, but it definitely seemed, now that you've talked to Anders, he wasn't necessarily hearing any new information about the ship so much as it was the talk about whether or not someone would go find it that he was interested in.
Yeah, so he just wanted to see if it was going to be.
Yeah. Other than that, knowing that he has interest, it's hard to pinpoint.
All right, Andy, you are far smarter than Zorg. Just be careful.
Well, it's been great having you over for dinner, Mr. Mr. O. Grats on that dagger.
I deem it right.
You got roboty again.
I said I beam with pride.
Okay.
But he has no social skills, so he stays for another couple of hours.
Anders has definitely cleaned up. He still seems a little mopey. I mean, I'm trying to put the spin on this where like it's been an old family legend about this ship for so long that as a kid he heard about it and heard about it and heard about it and then was just like, fine, Dad. Yeah, you lost 100,000 gold pieces. That sucks, but whatever. And now all of a sudden, the old legend is potentially coming back to become his problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a lot of money to find stored in the ship. So the gist of the conversation when he was going to other cities is just that he was sizing up crews, but just didn't trust hiring anybody. And didn't really bring it up with you guys because your ship has been out of port for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But as luck would have it, your ship appears in port the next morning.
Yay!
Yay!
Fortuitous chances.
Fortuitous chances, however. Well, I'm not telling you yet. So the next morning, you go home. Well, that night you go home. You don't go home the next morning. That was a terrible turn of punctuation. You go home that night, and the next morning, what do you want to do? As you're heading down to the shipyard to do your morning whatever, you do see the dropped kilt like rounding the promontory on like the eastern side of the beach or something. And it's slowly pulling into its usual berth. But what do you want to do? The rest of these guys are completely clueless on whatever's going on.
Well,
Zor holds all the power.
I'm gonna go to.
Oh, your internet's pretty bad tonight.
Yeah, I said I go running off like Forrest Gump to Anders' house to tell him the ship has come in.
Okay. When you get there and you knock on the door, there is a response from the waitstaff, and they say, I'm afraid Mr. Solmore is still abed. He had perhaps one too many last night and is sleeping it off.
Tell him Zor was here. Ship is in dock. Ship is in dock.
And then I go running back to town to try to catch up with the other guys.
Okay, Mr. Zor. As you take off. All right. So where are you headed?
To the ship. I'm gonna
back to the ship specifically. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that the other guys, because the ship's been gone for a few days, might stop and say hello.
Right. As you head down.
Rustle them up.
Okay. What time would you say you guys get up in the morning, on average?
How much ale did I have the night before?
It's up to you.
Early for me.
Because the rest of you don't really have jobs.
Yeah.
Zor's the only one with a regular profession.
Mid-morning,
So
brother.
Okay. So by the time you wake up, you notice the ship is in port, but this would have been a few hours after Zor has gone running to get aboard.
Mm-hmm.
Tharkir, I don't think would ever just wander up onto the gangplank of the ship. You really haven't had a whole lot of interaction with these guys since coming to town, except the occasional drink in a tavern or something.
And the captain of the ship doesn't seem to like you.
There is that.
To be fair, he doesn't like anybody, so...
Comments in the watch party.
I'm sensing a distinct vibe of disdain.
Yep.
Distrust of lizard folk. But a like of coin. So.
Gunolf doesn't like anybody. Gunolf, whatever.
Alright. Well, we'll say you guys are all going to be basically still sleeping in. Unless you want to speak otherwise. As Zor goes running down toward the dropped kilt. And as you run toward the gangplank, you see the usual suspects. You see the Mackenzie brothers throwing some barrels of supplies, and they go, "Oh, it's Zor, eh? How's it going?"
Well, Zora wished to commission his own ship.
They look at each other. They look at Zor. "Oh, you're done with us already, eh?" Again? Again?
I'll go.
I
I'll go.
told you we
update-
did it the first time, and it wasn't an accident.
I'll update Gunoff on the on Anders' situation, and then just kind of make myself cozy and.
Interesting point on that. As you mentioned that you're there to see Ganolf, we'll say Bob Mackenzie, Sailor Bob, says, "Oh, Ganolf's not here, eh?
What are
He's,
you talking about?
He's setting up a recruitment base back in that other town we were at." And
Recruitment, eh?
his brother Doug says, "Yeah, he doesn't like us, eh? He wants to find better sailors." It's like, "No, you shut up. He likes us the most. He just needs more sailors." "No, that's not what I heard, eh?" They start basically punching each other.
Zor, you
Cat
really
fight.
are the captain now.
And as you step aboard, a woman approaches you that you have not seen before. Did this pop up on your screen?
No.
Okay, because I'm on a different page than you. I'll drag you over here. I kept this a little bit of a secret.
Holy
You
crap.
see this woman, and she
Ooh.
kind
Catherine
of
Zeta-Jones?
she kind of strides over. If you look in the PC toolkit under Dropped Kilt Crew, you will see Captain Tori Bouchard, and she waltzes over to you. She looks down, bends down, crouches down a little bit to get your eye level, and she slowly smiles. She says, "The audacity with which you bring yourself aboard my vessel makes me think that you must be Zor."
Or
Yes.
have all the audacity.
No.
your
My
your
vessel, you say?
your friend, Mr. Ganolf, Mr. Injalson, she says with like the appropriate rolling of L's and R's that aren't even in the spelling and everything else. She says, you definitely match the description. I was told to expect you aboard the ship. My name is
All right.
Tori Bouchard, but you may call me Captain Bouchard.
Hi.
What's Jim finding so funny?
My name is Tori Bouchard, but you may call me Captain Bouchard.
Yeah, there you go. Let me get one thing straight, Mr. Zor. While we are in port, you are an authority, but once we set sail, I am the authority aboard the ship.
Hi.
We have that clear?
Hi, Captain. Hi, Captain Amos.
All right, so we got to kick her off.
I get what you're doing, but that's kick her off.
Sorry.
Unlike
Spelling.
unlike your Mr. Ganolf, I am an experienced captain.
Mhm.
But
Are
he
you
will be
afraid of lizard
managing.
folk too?
Looking around. Why?
Oh, Gunny had the weirdest phobias.
Oh, I've heard about the recent interactions with their kind, but I don't see that we would be having any run-ins with them. Come, let me show you around the changes we've made to your ship. And she takes you on a little tour of the Dropped Kilt, which for the most part is the same. Is this okay? But when you go down into the galley deck, you see a dwarf, and the dwarf looks up at you and he says, "Oh, yeah, I've been trying to flog with the hardening, eh?" and she says, "This is Mr. Atkins. He's our cook. He doesn't speak common so good, but he can do an amazing thing with some potatoes."
Just
I'll
one
give
thing.
him a nod.
Well, he does amazing things with potatoes and
Okay.
other such foods. And if you've seen his picture, he can also do some things with octopus tentacles, apparently.
Strange. I would have thought you would have been an all meat kind of guy with that name.
I was just trying to that joke.
Yes, that was definitely a thought process.
Apparently, he's a Kiss fan.
He knows low carb potato preparations.
First, you skin all the potato out.
Unlike Dr. Atkins, this guy's still alive. And every time he speaks, it just sounds like gibberish. It sounds like Norwegians, or what's that movie that
Swedish Chef.
Chris likes to show me all the time, where I think it's Brad Pitt is, I guess, talking English, but it doesn't sound at all like English.
Pikeys.
Yeah, he talks like that.
Irish
Oh, yeah.
gypsies.
Like occasionally you can get a word in there somewhere, but mostly it's just like he's spewing noises at you and then laughing at the end as if you got the joke. But everyone else is the regulars that you had seen on the crew before.
All right.
She says, "So you seem to be implying that you need us here for something. So where are we headed? And is it
Well,
just you?"
I have to speak with my friends first and see if they approve. But yes, I'd like to go on a salvage mission.
Salvage
Rescue
mission. Interesting. So, doesn't seem to be anything particularly dangerous. So,
Not for us.
when do we leave? We could be stalked by noon. Though I do prefer to sail with the tide. And she just looks at you, waiting for an answer.
Yeah, gotta wait.
What are we waiting for?
Oh, I just want to wait for the other guys. I don't want to.
Okay, so you don't even go looking for them. You just kind of hang out on the ship and assume that they're going to show up.
If they're not there by lunchtime, I'll go out and look for them.
Well, that's up to them. Would you pop onto the ship as soon as it showed up?
I'd probably go in to harass Ganolf after I woke up and had breakfast and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, you should see.
So-
We got a party member you're gonna love.
All right. So you get up, mid morning, 10:30 ish. Head down to the dock area just to take in the sea air, and you see
I got a
drop
basket
kilt in
of
port.
pastries with me.
You see it looks like they've changed the color of the sails, and they've got a new flag flying, but it has like a kilt image on it. Some inside joke you guys share with Godolph that no one would get. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but it's built into the flag. Obviously a change he made for fun while he was away.
Before I go there, though, I would tell the other crew members that the ship is harbor if they hadn't seen it yet.
Well, it's been 3 weeks since you got back, and the ship has kind of been here and then out for 5 days, and then back for a day, and then out for 3 days, and so it's been here and out frequently.
So I should not tell them?
No, I don't know if you would. I'm trying to ascertain if it being, just sporadic like this, if you
So
would
have they been
bother
back
with it. I mean, yeah,
since-
Ganolf's your friend, so
Has
it's been about
back-
5 days. Yeah,
No, I mean,
since he went out to supposedly get crew and stuff, he's been out for a little while.
No. I mean, how long has it been since we did our?
About 3 weeks.
Okay, so
3.5 weeks.
He was there for that technically.
For the beginning, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. I didn't know if he actually knew about Chris's character or not. So
Yeah, and the first couple days he was being hired by the town council to ferry lizard folk back and forth
Okay, good.
and supplies and stuff. Under duress, I guess. Yeah. So, I guess, yeah. I mean, I think you and Mark and, I guess, Farrell and Kahilis are probably all staying in the same tavern anyway. So, when they come down for breakfast, you might pop in and go, "Hey guys, look, Chip's here." That kind of whatever. How you get in touch with Tharkir is up to you. But as you look at the ship, you see Zor standing on near the railing. And he spots your silver hair and starts waving emphatically, jumping up and down and swinging both arms in the yeah.
No, don't jump. No, don't jump. Jump. Oh, man. Don't jump.
I got one leg up on the railing.
Yes, don't do that. You're way up there. I'm way down here.
Yeah, you see a bunch of the sailors down below, like shielding their eyes. Guys in the smaller fishing vessels.
I'll start throwing pastries from my basket to the crew members as I go by them.
Okay. Boonk, boonk.
Are you going to actually tell them that's for them, or are you just going to wind up and pitch them?
No.
Here, have a bread. Boonk.
No, I got the basket. I'm like, hey, breakfast. I'm in a great mood. So, it's been a great night.
As you're headed toward the ship, and you see Zor waving, a female you don't recognize walks up and stands next to him, arms crossed, and just kind of looks where he's looking and spots you. You're kind of a standout with that silver hair.
My silver mane.
So she watches you approach, leans down and says something to Zor, and he nods emphatically. And you round the corner to the gangplank, and you see Bob and Doug still arguing about whether the captain likes them best.
Hey.
They go, hey, Silvermane.
He loves you both equally. He told
See,
you.
I told you, eh? I knew it. Oh, you shut up. Punches him in the shoulder again.
Zorg! Oh, Captain
Yeah.
Zorg, do I have permission to come on your ship?
You am I bored?
Thank you. And I give him a pastry.
The captain looks at you kind of like, is that the dynamic you have?
And who is this charming young lady?
Yeah.
You are you our new serving lady?
Oh, she bites her
me.
tongue. She looks at Zor. She says, Zor, would you mind handling the introductions, please?
Captain Bouchard, meet this guy. What's the name right now? Meet Silvermane. Silvermane, meet Captain Bouchard.
She holds her hand out. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Silvermane.
And
Of
then I'll
course.
lean in.
Gunolf
and
has
also-
spoken so highly of you.
I'll lean in and say, when we're at dock, we're in charge. When we're not at dock, she's in charge.
Okay, so we gotta get rid of her. And I smirk at her because I know she can hear me.
Are you? Yeah, I was gonna say. Did you say that loud?
No. I know she can hear me.
And
then
make an insight check.
And then I will bow over her hand in appropriate fashion.
I want to just see how she takes it. That sounds really bad.
It wasn't that bad.
No, I know. No, it's just the way I said it, how she takes it. Oh, wow. All right. She smiles back and gives you a little wink, and she thinks Zor's not looking.
So you're in charge of the ship. I'm supposed to ask you if I can board now, huh?
Your Mr. Ingleton placed me in charge of his vessel, yes.
And where is he exactly?
He is... I meant to look up a map of nearby towns. I'm going to say Seaton. He's in Seaton. he is setting up a recruitment office and a financial account to maintain books and proper shipping rights and all that annoying
The boring
stuff.
stuff.
Yes, because I don't think when you acquired this vessel, you realized just what goes into owning such a ship. I myself prefer to captain it rather than manage the garbage like that. So
And I
you
like
make a
to let
great
him
team.
think he's in charge so that I can just collect the money and do nothing.
He's a decent financier. He has a head on his shoulders for business. Must be all that wisdom that in his big giant head of hair.
Well, I'm very glad that he does because, well,
And he
this is
thinks
working.
better in a thunderstorm. I don't know why that is, but
Okay.
lightning cleric or whatever.
No, I know.
Okay.
So you're back to
Yes.
port for how long?
Until we pick up another job from, I believe her name was Owland? Owland? Edda something rather.
Great.
Supposed to check in with her.
Oh, you are?
Well, Mr. Zor here has said that he has a mission for us instead, don't you, Mr. Zor?
Councilman Andy needs our help.
What? You saw Andrew? Sorry. You got me saying
Anders.
it now.
Anders?
Yes, I was at his house. We were partying.
What?
He can fight. He can fight it in Zorg. I have one of those faces.
You truly do, my friend. You truly do. Well, Edda will be very glad to know he's back. But, a mission for him?
He doesn't want her to know about the mission.
Okay.
But yes.
Sounds so shifty.
Okay.
His fathership has returned. There's 10,000 gold in it for us.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
It was his butler's idea.
Let me just tell Hannah that we will not be going out on the ocean today, and we can get going.
It's a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, man, we gotta get the rest of the crew. Silvermaid's gone. He's out of here.
All right, so you go back on shore and try to find
Yep.
the rest of the gang.
Yep.
Cool in the gang. All right.
Go back to the bar. Tell Hannah the bad news. Get the boys. Go look for the lizard man.
It's like, oh, well,
Gotta
you have
find
fun
Anders
out there.
Go see Edda.
Okay.
Have a private meeting with her.
Swing by the council chamber.
All right.
You can set up a meeting with her, sure.
We found Anders.
Oh, how's he doing?
I gather not well. But this is just between you and I.
Did he sort out his family issue, or
No.
his whatever the letter was? I guess you wouldn't know it's family issue.
Let's just say that since there's a lot of money on the line, I'd like some insurance if I don't come back that somebody's going to come looking for me. So he's sending us on a mission to go get some money that is out there that is his family's. And it's a big sum. But he doesn't want you guys to know about it. So don't tell him that I told you.
All right, make an insight check.
Trusted you.
A 5. The lowest I can
All
get.
right, I'm not even gonna check to see what her numbers are because that's pretty low.
I'm
She
just gonna trust that she's...
she just kind of has a that's poor Andrews. Yes, his family did have a lot of money back in the day, but I mean they're still wealthy. I don't know what his issue is. What's the salvage?
I don't know, but I guess it's gonna be worth 10,000 gold for us.
That is a significant sum. If he's willing to give you that much, that must be a considerable sum.
Unless he's not willing to give us that much, and that's why I'm telling you. So if we don't come back in the next couple weeks, please come find us.
Anders is a good man. I wouldn't worry about any underhanded business dealings.
I've known a lot of good men in my life, and they still disappoint. So
No.
You'll
If it was
probably-
Galen, I would worry more about your personal safety.
if it was
just
Galen, I
between you
would
and
take
me.
the mission. But you're the only one that I trust in this town, so
Well, I appreciate the trust, and it does flow both ways.
But do you happen to know where my lizard man friend is?
There's the enclave just
Yeah.
south of the city.
Sorry, I
He has
can't
a
remember
name.
Chris's name. I'm sorry.
Tharkir.
Tharkir.
He needs to change his screen name there at the bottom.
He doesn't want to. Damn it. Yes. Do you know where
He doesn't
Tharkir
want
is?
people to see his pee-pee.
Don't be
Yes.
ashamed. Mine is
Show me
small.
your
Look
pee-pee.
how small mine is.
I don't know. Keyless seems to have the smallest peepee.
He does. But I wasn't going to bring it up. So, yes, have you seen our new friend Kahila? Now I'm saying Kahilis. You know what I mean.
Tharkir.
Yep, Tharkir.
I believe I've seen him about town now and then. But if you don't see him in any of the local taverns, I would say probably check the Enclave,
I'll check there
where
first.
the other lizard folk are.
I really think
Very
it's a
well.
good idea for relations that he continues to go with us on these things.
Of course.
Plus, he can swim.
And very admirable of you to maintain this partnership.
This is my home.
While you travel with him, if you can find out more about a time frame on this invasion, that might be helpful.
I'm not entirely sure that they know. They're reacting to an attack on their homeland. I don't think
Perhaps
they
you're right.
have spies, but
I'm just starting to wonder if maybe the pressing battle wasn't so pressing after all.
I don't know. If we were attacked, I imagine we would be all hands on deck.
True. Then don't stay out too long. We might need you here.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck, she says, claps you on the back. If there's anything I can help you with before you go, just let me know.
Of course.
And mum's the word. Zip.
Did you hear about Anders?
As you're leaving, you pass by Prime Water as he comes walking in. He stops, kind of blocks your path out the door for a moment, and he says, "Silvermane, what brings you to the council chambers this afternoon?"
Oh, you know, just reporting into Edda. Making sure that there's
Reporting?
anything I need to do.
Is there something to report?
No, not yet, but
Make a deception check.
okay, I will. But I wasn't even lying. 19.
I mean, you sort of. What'd you get?
19.
Oh, yep. Oof, yeah. Yeah.
No, but we're still looking to see if the threat is, specific or not.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder myself. And he looks past you toward where Edda's office is.
Oh, I believe the lizard folk.
Do you?
I do. Well, if you'll excuse me.
Of course. Sorry to hold you up.
Loser.
I have important councilman business anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I will go to the Enclave to...
Okay. You run into Gahurt first, the one that you first met in the swamps. And he claps you on the shoulders, and in broken common, he is like, "Silverman, good to see you. Thank you for coming to visit.
Hey, your common is really coming along, I say in Draconic.
It gets better with use."
Well, and I'll go back to common. In light of that, I will stay in common. Have you seen my party member?
Tharkir?
My party
Seen
member,
Tharkir.
Tharkir.
I don't know. Where is Tharkir right now? It's like just afternoon. Where would you think you'd be, Pitts? Does it matter? Are you here? I mean, I see him here.
I see him.
Sorry.
Looking around.
Yeah, I don't know where I would be.
Probably here then.
All
You've
right,
probably you've probably seen what there is to see in the town and been like, "Yep, it was neat for the first week, but it's week 3, and this party I'm supposed to be helping with is really boring."
All they do is drink all day.
So you come out of your tent or whatever mud hut they've built for you, and you see Silvermane talking to Gahert.
Thakir, I was just talking about you.
Hey,
It appears you are going somewhere.
If you'd like to, we are going on a salvage mission, and it pays well.
salvage mission? What are you salvaging?
I'll tell you the details on the ship. It's kind of mum.
Ghost ship.
Ghost ship.
Well, all right.
Says a voice from all the way across town.
Zorg, they all know it. Oh, he's a watcher. Yeah, come on if you want it to the ship. It's in
Wait a
port.
second. I apologize for the interruption. Sorry, but our chef, our ship's not captain, but cook, is named Atkins.
Yes,
So
we
we're
know.
going to be on the Atkins diet.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, you're like an hour behind here.
Yeah, they were making that joke earlier.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Somebody came in the room and my
Oh.
attention was divided. So okay.
It's like, wait a minute.
I'm faster than Zorg.
That's awesome.
I can't quite roleplay his intelligence level because I'm not up there.
But you try, man. You try. All right.
Awesome.
So yes, on to the ship.
All right. By now, we'll say Farrell and Kahilis have gotten wind the ship is in dock, and seen, if you happen to walk anywhere near the ship, has been waved at by Zor emphatically, because apparently he can't be bothered to come get you.
Well, actually, if you remember, I said that I went to the bar first and told Hannah the bad news and told them about
and
it.
let her. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So
Yep.
they should know anyway.
That's fine. I'll let it slide
I'm
this
sitting
time.
I'm sitting in the ship like a dad who's waiting for family to get ready to leave.
All right. So
Sitting
the
there
two of
revving
you.
the sails up.
Yeah.
So the two of you, it looks like if you look at Captain's image, it looks like Farrell's already there.
Nice.
Cause you get the picture behind it as a smoking tabaxi. Not that he's hot; he's just got a cigar in his mouth. So the two of you walk up the gangplank. I'll say together because you were notified at roughly the same time. And Captain again waits for Zora to introduce her to you. And she seems to be not enamored, but definitely taking the Triton in.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. Just drinking you up like a tall glass of water.
I am a bit of an oddity.
Yeah.
She doesn't know about your small peepee though.
She says,
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I like to save that revelation for later.
she says, "Are you truly a Triton?"
I am.
When Ganolf said that to me, I thought he must be mistaken. But I should learn to take what he says at face value, I guess. Welcome aboard, Doctor.
Why, thank you.
You're like, yeah, I was here when we took it but thanks. She says, and you, she gestures to Farrell, you have a way about you. You have ship experience, don't you?
Yes, I've served on quite a few ships over the
Good,
years.
sailor, get to work. And she points at a... just starts assigning you a job. she does not hesitate, and she does not skimp on the terminology because she just assumes you're going to know what she needs. She's like, this ship is down about 3 guys, and you're it. And for a moment, you get a glimpse of what kind of a person you might deal with when the ship pulls out of dock. She's not a take no for an answer kind of captain, it looks like.
That's all fine. I can work with that until the time comes.
Okay, so by mid-afternoon, Silvermane and Thurkir arrive. And as you walk up the gangplank, Captain comes immediately over to it. And she looks... Who was it that mentioned lizard folk? Was it Silvermane or was it...
Well, actually,
Okay.
did Zorg too? I almost
I
think
can't
he
remember
did
which one
first.
of you had first said, how are you around lizard folk? Because I don't think Ganolf would technically know that you've picked up a replacement party member that happens to be a lizard folk.
Well, that's why I was
I
asking earlier if
asked her-
you'd been around for a while, so...
I asked her if she was afraid of lizard folk too.
Okay. So she kind of watches him walk up the gangplank. She turns to Zorg and says, friend of yours?
I nod yes.
Is he coming with us?
I hope so.
Kind of does a double take between you and him. Shrugs. Okay. I was told this was an interesting group when I signed aboard.
As I board, I give what I think looks like a smile.
Okay.
He bears his
Mostly just
fangs.
an open mouth with lots of teeth.
Yeah, just a row of little jagged, razor sharp incisors.
Little hand wave.
She kind of like does a slight nod in your direction. Again, turns to Zor, waits for introductions. And Zor just like doing his own
Keeps
thing.
waiting, apparently. I look between him and then her and then back to him.
She,
I introduced them as
Alright.
I have been.
okay. She says, "Are we leaving now, or are we waiting?"
I mean, I think we should probably let Anders know. See if he wants us to do this.
He doesn't know.
Zorg, you sound weird.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, like, I now that everyone's here and present, I'm going to explain to them the situation. Say, so should we go meet with him and see if,
Wait.
if get instructions, coordinates, that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute, Zorg. We don't actually have the job?
No. We have the application.
Zorg.
I'm
Is that
like,
new
you
kill,
dragged me out
Zorg?
of this boat for what?
Wow. Okay, maybe we should go talk to Anders. That's a good idea, Zorg.
He wasn't home.
Well, I think
Alright,
we
I'm
should
gonna-
find him.
Is number 2 wearing a nautical themed shirt? I see. It looks like a
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bonus points.
Complete accident, but that works.
Too bad I'm doing milestone because that extra bonus point won't really go anywhere.
Sad.
By the way, Doug, I know 100% that you did not actually get the job. I am totally busting on you. You know that, right?
Yes.
Because I love Zorg. I love that he is the way he is. So, I'm just making
Yeah.
sure that was clear. I did not actually misunderstand the situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Now, it is true that you left a message with Anders, but
Yeah.
doesn't show up at the docks, at least not by mid-afternoon.
Let's go find him.
You want to go find him? All right, you know where he lives. So you work your way back to his place, and you see, a stable hand out front dealing with something, and the groundskeeper is out there. The building is definitely in full normal operating parameters. As you walk up to the front door, knock, and Scarin, the butler, answers the door. Says, "Good evening, Master Silverman, Mr. O."
Scaring.
Everyone's there?
Scaring.
I bow and say, "Scaredy."
He just kind of sighs. Mr. Solmore is this way.
Is your master at home?
He is right this way. And he escorts you through the house to the sitting room. And Anders is kind of sitting down. He's got his usual fancy pants robe on, and he's just sitting. He's holding a letter in his hand as you walk in. He says, I got your message, Mr. O. You said the ship was in port?
It is.
Am I to assume that you are offering your assistance?
Oh, I think it was unanimous.
And the agreed upon terms, the amount of fundage we were discussing, is that what you are hoping? 10,000? Yes, 10,000. Yes, I do believe 10,000 can be attained if you find. Yes.
I know we're friends. I also want to request some salvage options.
That would be the salvage, Mr. O. What you're salvaging is a watertight blue sea chest with the Solmore family crest on it, and contained therein is the salvage.
Oh. I mean, like, if we find any items or anything along the way.
If you find anything of value on the ship, you are welcome to have it, although the ship went missing when I was but a lad, so it's probably in bad shape. Unless someone's been maintaining it all these years, but last I knew, it was lost in a storm at sea, and until now had not been seen. So I'm hopeful that the chest is in there. I want to be clear, if you go through the whole ship and do not find the chest, then I will not have the 10,000 to pay you. The payment is purely based on the success of this mission.
Delicate matter, Mr.
It is a bit, yes.
No. More of a question.
Oh, yes.
Do you want any remains that are found returned to you?
Oh, that is a tough one. I don't believe that there was anyone of significant family acquaintance aboard the vessel. I believe it was just a crew, one of my father's crews, so I don't believe that would be a concern. If anything, burial at sea would be acceptable.
Well, it's as
But
good as
in length of time, I would assume that there wouldn't be much to find. So, about this location, and he kind of hands you the letter. And it's a pretty simple letter. It says, Dear Mr. Solmore, it has come to my attention that a ship matching the description of the Emperor of the Waves has been spotted at sea adrift, roughly 5 days from shore, along such and such a coast. This was on the date. I don't have the calendar active at the moment, so I don't remember where we are, but it was about, say, 5 days ago now. So the letter got to him pretty quickly after it was sighted. But that also means that it could have drifted, depending on the currents, further away from shore or further down the coast. And the letter goes on to say it looked to be very mistreated, and I think, and it implies that other ships have probably been avoiding it because it looks like a ghost ship.
Well, that works in our favor.
If you believe in ghosts.
As long as they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you missed the first game, Chris, but the first mission they got hired for was to go into a haunted house and figure out what the ghost was that was haunting this house, and it was a smuggling ring running out of the basement. So these guys are kind of like, ghosts,
We will suffer for this.
One of these days it'll be a ghost. and Pitts here knows what ghosts do to your characters if they hit you.
Real bad.
Didn't you get aged like 2d20 years or something in the Ravenloft game? It was something like that. So, all right. He gives you he pulls out a sea chart or whatever, and he shows you. So if they predicted it would be here, or it was spotted right about here, then my extensive knowledge of currents and sea coasts would place it roughly about here. Anyone who here can make a survival roll? Because I don't think there's a navigation skill anymore.
Oh, man. We need Ghana for this.
Ooh.
I guess we don't
Oh,
need him.
Wow. So
here for the win.
Zor and Farrell, who didn't,
I know these waters.
might not be here. Between you're like, yeah, well, the currents push this way, but the winds go this way, and the Gulf Stream or whatever the equivalent runs through this area here. So if the winds carried it into the stream, it's probably going to be here and not here. And you quickly correct Anders and narrow it down to 2 possible places, depending on what that storm a few nights ago did as far as the weather currents.
And then Thurkir says it's right here.
Yeah. Yes. You guys are both wrong. It's right here. Anders kind of shakes all of your hands. He's like, I pray for my family's reputation that you are successful. But this ship had gone missing so long ago. At this moment, I almost hope it's just not there. But for your efforts and time, I hope it is. To your success, and he holds up a glass. He pours out a little shot for everybody.
Wow, this sounds like the fancy party you had last night with Zorg.
Yeah.
We did knock back a few, didn't we, Andy?
It was a friendly ear to speak to. Thank you.
Anytime, old buddy, anytime.
And you as well for representing your people amongst ours, he says to Thurkir. That you would donate your time to a unification of peoples. It is truly an honor that you would help us.
My goal to learn as much as possible about the soft
Mr. Thurkir
skins.
has just been on his back about fixing the cave. Going to get away.
So he has a drink, and he gives you It doesn't really. It's not going to give you rope and shit because you already have all that stuff on the boat. So he offers to give you a bunch of ship going supplies that you already know the ship is more than stocked with. He seems eager to get any kind of news. It does look like it's going to take you roughly 5 days of sailing, 5 to 7 days of sailing to even get there.
We probably should stop at the potion shop.
Just
to see if
is there a potion?
You had a magic shop that we had gotten stuff before, I thought.
Well, there's there's Zendros' shop, the Aya's quartermaster, but she really has magic items more than potions. You got all your potions from Kahelis brewing them.
Well, Kahelis.
Yes.
All your potions
brew
of
some
healing.
water breathing potions, damn it.
I don't have that capability. That is beyond me. I already do that without a potion.
Yeah, I can too, but that won't help Zorg.
You can hold your breath for like 3 times your constitution, I think. In rounds.
Seconds? Oh, in round. Oh, wow.
Well, a round is 6 seconds. So,
yeah.
A 10 con is what, a 6 minute? Oh, no, 1 minute. Right? 10 rounds is 1 minute.
Yeah.
So a 20 con is a 2 minute breath holding, which for me is a miracle, but for most people I think isn't much.
I can apparently hold mine for up to 15 minutes at a time.
Well, 15 rounds. Oh yeah, three times?
No,
3
15
times?
minutes.
He's a lizard.
Oh, is that a racial?
Racial.
Right. Right, even better. So 2 of you can breathe water, 1 can hold his breath for more than any length of combat. So it's just the cat and the gnome that need to be worried about. But it's a ship. It's not underwater, right?
And what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know.
As you head your way back to the ship to get ready to sail, we're going to take a little break so I can run to the bathroom.
Pee break.
Any necessary breaks, go for it.
You want me to stop the stream?
For everyone.
If you stop it, it's going to end up being 2 files.
Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe I'll play Scurvy Wizard and get some cheerful music playing during the interlude. And I'll go like this, so we'll have like a pause screen.
Alrighty. I should do like a confessional right now, since I'm the only one here. Like just open up and just share my deepest, darkest fears and secrets with you guys. We got
Do it.
No fucking way, dude.
Yeah, just because you can't see me doesn't mean I'm not listening.
Should drop all the spoilers for Shang-Chi for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Maybe a towel. Oh, I got a towel. Give a few days before I do that. Great. Good dog. the scurvy is over.
Sometimes I feel like I miss living in New Hampshire, and then I hear things like Starbucks closes at 7. And I'm like, oh, I could go back to
Having everything closed.
yeah, like before sunset in the summer.
Who gets Starbucks later than 7?
But I mean, just in general, like not specifically Starbucks, but the fact that they closed that early there.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, we're getting an Aroma Joe's in Plymouth.
hey, I've never been or heard of it actually.
It's a chain that's been kind of spreading out throughout New Hampshire. I don't know how far else, but it's really
The
not any
weary
better or
gunfighter
worse than
walked
Dunkin' Donuts
slowly
coffee.
through the saloon.
It's
The
probably
long
better than
miles from
Starbucks,
Cheyenne
honestly.
had
Starbucks
taken
is
their
the
toll.
most overrated
Who's
coffee
saying
on
that
earth.
stuff?
He scanned the
Yeah.
room with a suspicious
tastes bitter.
eye. Years of being on the wrong side of the law had taught him that a tough man
All
can
right.
get out of a
Well, I am
situation,
back.
but a
And it
smart
looks
man
like
never
everyone
gets
else is
himself
back
into
except
one.
Chris
Please
Pitts
quit
is not
doing
back.
that. I just want to have a shot of whiskey in peace.
I used
But the gunfighter would find no
the
peace.
chat and the recording as a confessional. Shared some secrets with you guys, and
He really opened up a vein for everybody to hear.
Oh,
go back and listen. You're gonna learn some stuff about me.
I don't know if I will.
And then Mark fucked the whole thing up by announcing his presence.
To be fair,
Always watching.
I was
You'll
streaming
never
the
get
gun-
away.
I was streaming the gunfighter while you were opening up your soul, so.
Well, let's see. How come it's not still playing Scurvy Wizard?
It was all done, man.
Didn't hit
It
the
wasn't.
repeat button.
Yeah, it was not on repeat.
I didn't import any good hurdy-gurdy music from my new purchases. All right. Well, Chris can catch up. He's not going to miss too much. The ship pulls away from port, and as promised, Captain Bouchard quickly takes control of the situation, shouting at each sailor to go to their respective spot, including Farrell. At one point, she asks the rest of you how much about operating the ship you know, but unless you actually have the sea vehicles skill in your character sheet, you don't know enough for her to care. Now I'm checking to see if Chris has it. Nope. Does anybody actually have that skill?
I have water vehicles and I have the ship right.
Oh, all right. So Zor, you are put to work as well. Hoisting a capstan, or climbing the forecastle, or hoisting the mizzen mast, or etc., etc.
You're just gonna see a gnome zipping all around the ship
Right.
constantly.
Yeah, you and Farrell probably enjoy it because it's something you're trained to do that you don't do regularly anymore.
Yes.
You know, whereas the rest of the sailors kind of grumble about their business under the whip of their new slave master.
Thing
But-
in sea shanties the whole time.
Right. But she's definitely efficient versus Gnolf, who was kind of like, just do it, make it go.
Go left.
I don't know if he had
Slightly left,
the-
left.
the skills. Maybe he did. Yeah, I'm just
Did.
I might be shortchanging Gnolf. Do I have her in the show players? Oh, I don't. There,
Looks like a
now
pilot
they're
to me.
now they're in the crew. There you go.
Pretty sure she's a pirate.
Oh yeah, because of the skull and crossbones. It was a good picture. I had to use it. I mean, technically, so was Farrell.
We know everything about her.
Actually, Ganolf doesn't have the ship or the water vehicle proficiency.
Oh. He's just good at being bossy.
So he was bossing the ship around and hoping that the sailors knew what they were doing. So after that 2 weeks of shakedown cruise and realizing that there definitely could be some better efficiency here, he decided to hire on somebody who is competent. All right. So the ship sets sail and catches a strong tailwind. There's another bit of a storm brewing. Must be global warming. It's hurricane season.
Makes sense.
And with the survival rolls that you made, and with her sea charts and sailing skills, you are able to kind of ride the crest of the storm and get a little headwind on it. And around 4 days in, you reach the first of the suspected areas where you think the ship might have gotten to. And there's a thick fog. It's kind of cool water, but a bit of a warmer night. And it is night, but it is just a few hours prior to the dawn. And looming in the distance, well, we'll say one of the sailors calls out, Captain, I think I see a ship ahead. And in the fog, you see a hulk of a ship kind of start to loom in the distance. Let's see if I have something spooky to play.
Careful, it looks like it wants to smash us.
You guys can hear the music, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll turn the wave sound down a little bit. Gear music up as I find the handout. We are in chapter 4, player handouts. There she is.
There she goes.
Definitely does not look like a ghost ship.
It is no, not at all.
I see the disrepair and I just vomit.
The dropped kilt pulls to about 500 feet of the derelict on its starboard side. You can see that the masts have been shorn off, but the upper deck appears clear of debris. So almost as if something hit it and just swept everything off the top of the ship. The figurehead, which used to be an angel in flight, has been hacked and disfigured.
What was the name of the ship?
It is the Emperor of the Waves. Captain Bouchard says, I'm surprised that thing is still floating.
Aye, Captain.
Those of you, just Ganolf and Farrell, note that it looks like it has taken a lot of upper deck damage consistent with the effects of a typhoon or a tidal wave. It lists noticeably to port, which is evidence that its ballast has shifted, but it's not going to be severe enough to cause difficulty moving. It also rides low in the water, implying that the lowest decks could be flooded. Make a nature check, everybody, please.
Goddamn
Tharkor is still absent, but Zor and Kahilis notice that there is also some damage that would indicate a seagoing creature has at some point been assaulting the wreck as well. Captain Bouchard says, well, if you're going to shore, I will have the Mackenzies row you over in a jolly boat. And she just waits to see if that's your plan. But she doesn't want to bring this ship too much closer than the 500 feet of separation in case the wreck does suddenly shift or, God forbid, get dragged underwater. She doesn't want to take the kilt with it.
So that sounds like a plan to me. I mean, we're going to have to approach it if we want to accomplish this.
Very well. And the boat is lowered into the water. Now, how would you like to approach the Emperor of the Waves? Just straight on?
Where's the ladder?
We're going to go here. And you should not be able to see anything yet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Yes, we cannot.
Okay, good. So, give me a second. That there, and I'm going to put Silvermane in the boat, and I'm going to put Kahilis in the boat, Thurkir in the boat, Zor in the boat, and
I'm on a boat.
Pharaoh in the boat. Are we on the right layer? Yes, we are. It is technically daytime, so you should be able to see. Turn it down just a touch. That's something they added recently too. I can adjust what daylight looks like when the map is in daylight mode. You can turn it way down so it's dark daylight mode.
That's pretty cool.
Which is very cool. All right. You can approach the ship as you would like.
Well, you guys are the boat people. Where should we go?
All right, yeah, I want to
Let's go up
assess
to
our
the middle. Should be easier to climb up there.
Well, yeah, because keeping in mind the top and the front and back are higher than the middle part. And it is listing to port to this side here. So the climb from the waterline to the deck would be shorter on the port side.
Mm-hmm. It's not visibly
Sinking?
turning on an axis, right? Like it's not like
It's leaning like
shifting
20 degrees to one side.
but it's stable in that at that 20 degrees.
Yeah,
It's not dipping
yeah.
frequently down to like more acute angles or anything.
Yeah, in the bottom of these ships, they usually have heavy objects,
Yeah.
just to kind of keep it centered. So it just implies that all that stuff has shifted to the port side. So that has become the center of gravity.
Yeah.
At
So
that
I think
list.
we should go. We should come across up to the port side and
I meant to grab all of these.
do it that way.
Then, see if I can grab them all. Yep, there we go. So you bring it around to here. Oops, Mark's seeing too much. Get on this side of the
Kill him.
lighting layer there. Because each floor is its own layer. And they've got like dynamic wall lights between to separate.
Okay.
All right.
Does the top deck seem sturdy enough to stand on?
It does.
All right.
Yep. The deck slopes gently down toward the ship's port side. The forecastle and quarterdeck are empty, and short wooden stumps that are all that remains of the ship's masts. There are double doors leading to the cabins fore and aft appearing intact, as does the metal grate in the deck that offers access to the lower decks. Aside from the rhythmic creak of the ship's badly weathered timbers, all seems quiet.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll try to climb on.
I jump on too.
All right. If you don't have a climb speed, then make an athletics check for me. All right. Helis is on the deck.
Boy.
Zor gets about halfway up the deck and loses your grip on the wet, kind of slick outer hull and drop back down into the boat. Make a, we'll say a deck save.
Is acrobatics appropriate to this as well, or just
It's only athletics because it's a strength-based climb.
Okay.
Are you supposed to use athletics? Or are you just supposed to make a strength roll if you're not trained in athletics?
Even if you click on the athletics skill, it'll still just roll a strength score for you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you don't take any damage, Zor, as you drop back in the boat and you kind of tumble and you're fine. Put Silverman up here as well.
Getting up to the deck?
If you have a rope or something, you can.
I would, yeah, I have a rope.
Toss it down there. All right.
Just toss a rope to him, yeah.
All right, you can make another roll with advantage because there's a rope to climb. And Farrell has a climb speed, so he just appears on deck.
Go on up.
All right, and Zor is on deck. I don't know what you guys can see. I'm always afraid of these lighting layers that I'm either showing too much or not enough.
We can see just what I think. It looks like we're seeing...
Just the square of the deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, what would you like to do? There's a door here, and there's a door here, and there's stairs up to the forecastle and aft castle, or stern castle, whatever. But you've already seen from the ship that there was nothing really on there.
Yeah.
Zor think we gotta get in, get out. This does not look safe.
Agreed. Let's just pick a door, left or right.
Let's try this door then.
Well,
All right.
I mean, where would the chest be? I mean, there's got to be like a likely location, captain's quarters or something.
You're not sure. He said he just thinks it's aboard the ship. There's multiple different rooms depending on the layout of the ship. You don't even know which exactly would have been.
Was it like?
Well, captain's
was it
quarters would
their
usually
ship,
be here. So.
or were they passengers?
It was owned by his family. It was part of his father's fleet.
So probably
Ships.
the captain's quarters, somewhere important.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
It
Yeah,
should
I wanna-
usually
I wanna-
be this here, traditionally.
I want to head toward the captain's quarters because I feel like that's the most likely location of a ship like that. I have a chest like that with that much gold in it. You wouldn't want it where the crew could get it.
Stupid bug. Okay. That would be back here, though. Usually.
Oh,
yeah, I was being contrarian.
And then everyone was following you. All right. So you approach the door. Who wants to open the door?
I will open the door.
I'm gonna look at it magically first.
Okay. You look at it magically with your magical looking eyes, and you see nothing of interest.
All right.
Now I will grab the door with my dynamic lighting tool. Maybe. Sort of. That. All right.
Ah,
You see a rough stone altar dominating this cabin. Strange markings cover its surface. Dried mud cakes the floor around it, and humanoid skulls ring the walls above, each mounted on a wooden spike. The corners of
sounds
this
friendly.
room are piled with garbage and debris, crudely cut wooden logs, smashed furniture, torn sacks, shattered crates, and small piles of dried palm fronds. A staircase descends from the southeast corner, and an acrid odor fills the air.
This is a pleasant place.
Make a religion check, anybody who has it. Kahlis, this appears to be a makeshift temple to the goddess Loth.
What?
That's
I-
one of the
I-
not good ones, right?
Pass
Yes.
that along to everybody.
Wait, this is Greyhawk Lost, though. That's the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Salt Marsh is in Greyhawk.
Yep.
Who is the law?
The Queen of Spiders.
Ah,
Her domain
It's
is
the-
chaos.
It's the drow goddess.
yeah.
As you, does anyone else come into this room? So right now I just see
Yeah,
two of you in here.
it's just not a lot of room to get through.
Right.
Let's make it easy for the trap. Everybody in.
Right. So as you look about the room, it's kind of scattered with junk. What do you want to do in here? Anything?
I would like to start sneaking down the stairs.
Okay.
I
I'd
have
like to
dark
let
vision
him do
for-
that.
All right. As you approach the stairs, there's a scurry of movement throughout the room. I need everybody to make me a perception roll. Remember, if you roll below your PP, you get to keep your PP score.
Yes,
Oh!
22.
12 for me.
What if you
Or
fail?
10. 10 for me.
You still get
Well,
your
you-
lowest.
Yeah, if you roll a 1, you still get 10, or whatever your PP is.
Yep, mine.
All right, so Kahlis is the only one
Oh.
that is caught off guard.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Clear the old one. Clear, clear, clear. As some movement scurries throughout the room and under the debris, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
Ugh.
Finally get a good initiative, and I'm surprised. That's just awesome.
Yeah, that technically means you're the last one to go.
Okay. So, yes, technically you missed this first round of combat. So, Kahlis, you do not do nothing, or you do nothing. Pharaoh, as you are stepping to the stairs, you see the movement. You turn, but at first there's nothing to attack. So, do you have an action? You know what we need? We need this.
I will hold action until something is in range for me to attack.
Okay. So you're basically saying if anything approaches you, you're going to take an attack on it.
Yes.
At that moment, from the port side of the ship, scurrying out from under some of the debris and some of the webbing that was part of the Lulth statue, appears a giant spider! A giant spider, which is already next to people, is going to attempt to bite Thurkir because he's a much bigger target than Inalf is. Oh, you know, maybe if I had their stat
Great.
blocks out, I'd be in good shape.
Me.
All right, let's. All right, Steiner. It takes a surprise bite at you, chunk, and hits 23. So you take 7 piercing damage, and you have to make a con save.
Gun!
All right. So let's see. You take half. So you take 4 poison. That's half the poison damage, and you are not poisoned. All right. From underneath the floorboards, scurry a swarm of tiny spiders.
Aha!
Is Hunter still listening?
I don't know.
No, nobody else
She
is on right
should
now.
be for this.
She wasn't in town. She jumped in for a second on her phone.
I'm gonna change something here.
Besides, it doesn't look like my stream is working very well today.
So, Chris doesn't have vision here, does he?
No,
Can you see it all?
it's very dark.
Very dark. Okay, but you can see. That's exactly how
Yes.
it's supposed to be described. I'm turning off the green tint because it was actually messing with my view because it was turning my view
I
all
don't
like
think
neon.
I had the green tint.
No,
Nothing's
you didn't
changed.
because you don't have night vision, but everyone else did. So my screen was just a big green blob. So I like the tint usually, but I think if there's not going to be a light source, it's going to mess with me, so I'm not going to use it. But it is dim light in here, so any perception tests are going to be at disadvantage until you have an active light source. Alright, so the swarm of spiders is going to bite at Feral.
They're in range.
They are in range, so yeah, go ahead and take a shot at them as they bubble up through the cracks in the floor beneath you.
Let's see.
Alright, a 12 is a hit. An 18 is also a hit. And sneak attack, you don't get the sneak because you don't have an ally in range. And they saw you before you saw
Oh,
them.
right.
But you did do 20 points of damage to them. So, in very short order, you start stabbing and skewering spiders. And I'm going
Doesn't
to
he get sneak attack because he's one-on-one with them with no other
Yeah,
allies
right.
to do
Yes,
that?
that's the. I'm doing a quick read through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Swashbuckler, you get
Oh,
sneak
so
attack. If
Gain
you're
a new
one-on-one.
item.
Don't need advantage to use an attack creature if you're within 5 feet of it. No other creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you don't have disadvantage. Alright. You kill the swarm of spiders.
Boring.
And then from this corner, you see a humanoid-ish, half spider, kind of a monstrous-looking thing, kind of scurrying out from the shadows, and it moves up to, say, Silvermane because he's closest. But let me do something here real quick.
Hey, how you doing?
He says,
Absolutely.
and he gets 2 attacks, 1 bite and 1 claw. And the bite hits AC 10, which is a miss. And the claw hits AC 11, which is also a miss. But now you have an Ettercap looming over you.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be a Drider.
And then, from the floorboards, a second swarm of spiders scurries forth and attempts to bite Thurkir. And it has more than half its hit points, so it's a crit for 18 piercing damage. Oh, shite.
Ow.
Oh, I should probably put them on the token there. I did put them on the token there, right? Oh, there's another one.
Well, this isn't going great. Your healer's almost dead.
Oops, hold on. I moved you for a second because reasons.
That's okay.
Now the healer's gonna have to heal thyself. I actually screwed
If I live
something
long
up.
enough to get to a turn.
Right. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. Sorry. Which one is that? This one here. Okay, so now I've got it right. So this one goes there. Okay. Sorry, that was confusing. Silvermane, you are up. There are spiders just swarming out of everywhere.
All right. I get a disadvantage on any ranged attacks, if I remember correctly.
No, that was older editions.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought you
like
did.
if you're doing it with a spell, I don't think so. But if you're doing it with like a weapon, like a crossbow or something, I think you do.
Ender.
Are you crossbowing?
No, see it. It's a frost. Ray of frost.
Oh yeah. I don't believe that there's a penalty to spells at short range. Ray of frost, Eder cap. That's a hit. Takes 3 cold damage. Is there any other penalty besides just the cold damage?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so. Hold on.
Zor.
Oh,
Yes.
its speed is reduced by 10. That's what it is.
Okay.
All right. Where's my goddamn cursor? Oh, I'm not even on the fucking mouse thing. I'm like my finger's like just to the right of the mouse surface thing. Fucking idiot. Oh wait, I'm not gonna walk away from this guy. That would be bad. All right, I'm gonna attack with my flail and my hand axe on the big spider.
Okay. Big spider.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dagger.
Are you raging or not raging?
Oh shit! I didn't turn the rage off yet.
Because it's turned on, and I was gonna say that's a bonus action. So
I didn't mean to rage. Can we reduce the rage damage and just?
Yep.
Yeah.
They both hit. So you don't do your bonus strength damage to your offhand, or do you?
I do because now I have dual wielding.
You took the feat. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be 16 damage. I will share its health bar with you.
Nice.
Bam. That's a pretty good hit. I will share the Ettercap's health bar with you. Not so good of a hit. All right. Do you have a bonus action at all? No, that was your offhand attack. Never mind.
Yep.
All right. On 8. Another swarm. Moves on Silvermane. Wink.
Silvermane.
Silvermane. AC 12.
No.
That's a hit. It says oh no, 17. I was looking at your peepee. Thank you.
Bet you were.
It's just well.
It's your moment,
Yeah,
Thurkir. Physician heal thyself.
right.
Or don't.
Or drink thy potion.
Casted it?
Yeah, you did. You got 9 points. 9 points of healing.
Did it whisper it? I don't see it.
I see it.
I see it.
Weird.
How did I get 9?
You cast it at a higher level.
Right, no, I'm seeing 6.
It says higher level cast 3 healing 6 is what I see.
Yeah. Doesn't that add?
Oh
together?
yeah, I do see it. I saw that. Yes, you had them both. You had the 6 and then you had the higher level cast. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you healed for 9.
Did that add in my ability skill?
It is it's D8 plus 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, your bonus action?
Um,
You remember our optional potion rules in case you wanted to do something like that? If you drink it, you roll for it, but if you take a full action, it's max. Ooh, yeah, you're flanked. That's not good.
yeah.
realize that.
Do I have any potions on me?
I don't know. There's some in party treasure, but generally if you don't have it on your sheet, then you don't have it on you. But if you would have taken some because these guys would give them to you, I will allow it.
I don't have any on my sheet.
You have any in party treasure?
Hold on.
I thought you guys brewed a bunch of them. Maybe you have them on your individual sheets instead.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
have to
think
put them
we
on the
kinda
sheets.
we did pass them out.
Okay, so he doesn't have any then. All right. Do you have a bonus?
I'm checking now. Hold on.
If you have a bonus spell, you can't use it because you used a first level spell. It would have to be a cantrip bonus action.
Right, that's what I was looking at.
Yep. So I don't think there are any cantrips that are bonus actions. So I think you're done.
Yeah.
Which means the third and final group of spider swarm swarms up from the floorboards and attacks Kahilis.
Yay!
And hits armor class 7.
Yay.
Kahilis standing there in stunned, shocked silence as literally hundreds of spiders, most of them tiny, come just filling the room, and he can finally act.
Alright, I'm going to risk an attack of opportunity and move to flank the giant spider.
Okay. These little spiders attempt to bite you, and they crit you for 20 points of piercing damage.
Holy crap.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I
They hit armor class 23 with a crit and did 14 plus 6.
Danger spiders.
Yeah, when a swarm has full HP, they do a lot of damage.
that was
Well, not a lot.
poorly calculated risk.
They do a 4d4 piercing damage for a swarm. So they rolled really good.
Alright, well, I will hope that I can make this attack count.
You have advantage. And you
So,
do hit. I would say it counted. You slay the spider as it kind of just pops with a high-pitched squeal. And all of the other spiders in the room seem to echo it in a squeal of anguish as it dies. And the room is just filled with a shrill, creepy, eerie spider scream noise. But that is your turn completed. Pharaoh, what would you like to do?
Eeny, meeny, miny. I'll
Yeah.
take on this swarm.